And today, down the road at Eden Gardens, the cricket starts in earnest as Kolkata Knight Riders take on the Delhi Daredevils, and the likes of Gambhir, Kallis, Narain, Warner and Jayawardene all in action, and plenty of talent on show.
And in the studio for day one, two men of many talents. Akash Chopra has opened for India, played in the IPL and is now an acclaimed author and columnist. Mark Ramprakash scored runs for fun during his career and has proved he's no slouch on the dance floor as well. Gents, great to have you here.
Welcome. Akash, this is your first year with the IPL here in the UK. You've played a role as a pundit for the IPL back home. You've played for the teams. You've associated yourself with two teams of the IPL. Tell us, how has the IPL changed cricket, if at all?
Well, it has changed quite a bit, and two things come to my mind straight away. One, it has provided a platform for the young Indian cricketers to showcase their wares. And two, it has taught the young Indian cricketer to handle pressure without actually playing at the highest level. Now he knows how to react when 70,000 people are cheering for you, or when there's a day-night game, when you're rubbing shoulders against the best in the world and you still have to do your best. So I think that's what IPL has done to Indian cricket.
And made them richer.
Oh, definitely. A lot richer.
Mark, for you, year 6, very different to year 1?
Yeah, of course, because we have an idea, really, of the entertainment value of the tournament. It very much hyped up in year 1, but you really weren't quite sure what to expect. I remember Brendan McCullum announcing himself with a fantastic 100 in the first game, which really set the tournament alive. So here we are in number 6, and I think it's more of the same. You know, fantastic names from all around the world. It's going to be a great tournament.
Well, the IPL wouldn't be the IPL without a bit of controversy. The governing council of the IPL has said that no Sri Lankan players or officials will feature in games in Chennai because of security fears. The decision comes after growing tensions following the alleged ill treatment of ethnic Tamils in Sri Lanka. Is this fair?
Well, they're two sides of the same story. Obviously, teams are going to feel the pinch. Teams like Delhi, Mumbai, Pune Warriors India, you've got captains there actually. The Sunrisers Hyderabad, Sangakkara is leading the side. So these captains won't be going to Chennai, and these sides will be poorer. But then it's something that has been actually thrown down on the IPL. It's not their own making. The state has actually refused to provide security for the Sri Lankans for the games in Chennai. There was a school of thought that the tournament or the matches should be shifted from Chennai itself. But then again, there are two sides to the same story. It happened in the past, but then we had a huge notice. We had about 4 months notice in advance when Deccan was actually asked to move out of Hyderabad. This didn't happen in CSK's case. And why would you want to lose home advantage when it's a trouble not of your own making?
It seems to me that the Chennai Super Kings has, and maybe the Kings 11 Punjab, because they have no Sri Lankan players in the team, have the least to lose.
Well, look, I'm a big fan of the Sri Lankan players. You know, we saw them get to the final of the T20. You know, they have got fine players that have graced the world stage for a long time now. Jayawardene and Sangakkara, to name but two. Batsmen, obviously, I'm interested in batsmen. Those two
oh God,
are
the
just...
battle between the batsmen and the bowlers begins
It starts
again.
already, don't worry.
It's a bit one-sided today, but, you know, we'll change it.
Those two players are just great to watch. They're not necessarily muscular six-hitters that we see in the IPL, but in terms of the pure art of batting, both those players are great to watch, and you tell any young player to watch them.
You know, the problem, sorry, just to butt in here, the problem is going to actually surface come the playoffs. If this situation doesn't change come the playoffs, I think most teams are going to have a serious problem. I don't see Mumbai Indians playing in Chennai in their playoffs without Malinga, or Delhi going there without Mahela Jayawardene, or Pune Warriors India, who I actually feel have a good chance of doing well in this season. They won't go there without Angelo Matthews and Ajanta Mendes. So I think that is when I think they'll have to rethink. If this situation hasn't changed till then, I think the playoffs will be moved out of Chennai.
You think there might be a compromise? So they might actually move those playoffs to somewhere else?
I think the playoffs will be moved somewhere else, because then it won't be a level playing field. When we talk about the IPL, the best thing about it was the level playing field that it provided every single franchise, the same purse to spend the money from, 4 professional, 4 overseas players. The rules were pretty much same for everyone. But with this situation, the rules have changed a bit, and some teams are hurting a lot more than the others.
And this IPL, I think we have a lot of situations to deal with. No Sri Lankan players in Chennai, and more importantly for all our viewers here, no Kevin Peterson. Not playing for Delhi Daredevils, and the IPL is going to miss him. India is going to miss him because he's a superstar back home. Not too many foreign players kind of get the kind of attention and adulation that Kevin Peterson does. Do you think any of the Delhi players, international players, can replace a Kevin Peterson in the team?
Well, I'm very sad to see Kevin not playing in the tournament because he did make a huge impact last year, and he's kind of flying the flag, if you like, for English players to play in the IPL, and to see his talents on show, it's fantastic. Hard to see another player replacing what he can do, because he has that great range of shots and great power, and he can change a game, and he showed that last year. So he's got that big match temperament, so he's a loss for the tournament, and Delhi may well struggle to replace him.
Missing some key players. We're just under 40 minutes till the first ball of IPL 6. Gautam Gambhir's Knight Riders were the toast of Kolkata last year. Can they start their title defence with a win against Delhi today?
Those are visuals of Kolkata, the famous Queen Victoria Memorial in the city of joy, Kolkata. Common ground for morning walks and cricket, as you can see, and that is the mecca of cricket, the Eden Gardens, and Brett Lee, who has now taken on the role of bowling mentor in the absence of Wasim Akram. And the Delhi Daredevils playing against the Kolkata Knight Riders. It is a big one. Delhi, of course, minus Sehwag, minus KP, Jesse Ryder, Varun Aaron, and Moni Morkel. Oops for Delhi Daredevils.
So how's your IPL knowledge? We've all had to do a bit of brushing up over the winter. Do you know your Rajasthan Royals from your Royal Challengers? Well, at the start of every season, it's always good to have a reminder of who's who. Here's Tom Skippings with the IPL SP.
IPL 5 brought us drama, glamour, excitement and controversy.
Just like that!
Before a ball has been bowled, IPL 6 is hinting at more of the same.
Here we go! Boom!
A cricketing superpower full of confidence is ready to host the game's biggest party, starting and ending in Kolkata, the home of the champions. For the Knight Riders, it's as you were. Many of the faces who triumphed in Chennai last May are back, led by a man hoping to recapture his touch of 2012. While Gautam Gambhir looks for form, Jacques Kallis must prove his fitness.
That is big.
Manvinder Bisla will bid to repeat the knock that won the final, but the key will be the bowling, led by last season's superstar Sunil Narine.
Narine strikes.
And that unlikely father figure, Brett Lee.
Oh, got him. Superb stuff.
Chennai's back-to-back titles and 4 finals out of 5 give them unmatched pedigree, and the country's captain will lead the favourites once again. MS Dhoni and Suresh Raina will lead the run charge, but with Faf du Plessis out for the first month, the all-rounders Ravindra Jadeja and Dwayne Bravo must deliver too. If they do, Ravi Ashwin and Ben Hilfenhaus should defend any total. Not content with one legend of the game, Mumbai are now led by another. Ricky Ponting's presence alongside Sachin Tendulkar is dream team territory.
Oh, he's just so super cool, isn't he?
Even before you add Lasith Malinga, Harbhajan Singh, Kyron Pollard, and the priciest player in this year's auction, Aussie spinner Glenn Maxwell. It's time the Daredevils deliver too. Mahela Jayawardene will lead the latest attempt, and if Arinder Sehwag finds his form, he and David Warner should provide the runs. And Moni Morkel took more wickets than anyone in 2012. But the names Delhi are missing is the real story. No Kevin Peterson due to injury, and no Jesse Ryder, thankfully now out of a coma after being attacked in New Zealand last week. Last season there were 733 reasons why Chris Gayle is the key for Bangalore.
This guy is magic.
Skipper Virat Kohli and AB de Villiers can cover if Gayle fails. But with Zahir Khan recovering from injury, the bowling could lack depth, unless Murali can roll back the years once more. Another veteran leads the Kings 11. At 41, Adam Gilchrist has been persuaded to play on by the arrival of coach Darren Lehmann. The two Aussies led Deccan to the title in 2009, but a repeat performance may rely on Indian talent. Mandeep Singh with the bat, Piyush Chawla with the ball. The Royals won the first IPL but haven't really challenged since. Rahul Dravid will lead from the front and hope to get the best out of Ajinkya Rahane yet again. Awais Shah is now a T20 veteran, but the key figure could be Shane Watson, the star man during that success of 2008, and available for the whole campaign this time. Last season's whipping boys are on the back foot already. Michael Clarke was their big signing. Now the Australian skipper will miss the whole campaign thanks to illness and injury. Instead, Angelo Matthews will lead the side. Steve Smith will provide the acrobatics in the field, and everyone wants to see Yuvraj Singh back to his best. The Sunrisers replace the Deccan Chargers and retain their key men, including Kumar Sangakkara. The skipper must contend with the decision not to allow Sri Lankan players to appear in games in Chennai. But the newcomers have another key import in Dale Steyn and real domestic depth in Shikhar Dhawan, Ishant Sharma and Amit Mishra. They're far from the favourites, but then in IPL, that's no bad thing.
It's interesting to see how the Sunrisers will get on in their debut year. Incidentally, the latest news on Jesse Ryder looks pretty encouraging. He's left hospital and he's back home in Wellington. We wish him all the best in his recovery. So we've had a look at the teams, but what about the individuals? Well, our man Ramprakash has picked out 3 players who could make a big difference. Mark.
Well, we all know that the IPL has got some fantastic overseas players playing in the tournament. I've picked out 2 that I think can make an impact for their respective teams, and also an Indian left-handed opening batsman. But let's start with Sunil Narine, the tricky Trinidadian who had a major impact last year and helped KKR go on and win the tournament. What do we know about him? Well, he's got very good change of pace. He's very, very accurate, and he can turn the ball sharply, as Irfan Pathan found out there. Coming down the wicket, he deceives Rohit Sharma and the little master, Sachin Tendulkar, here. So we know he can get the big boys out. On to AB de Villiers, who really possesses great power and a great range of shot. To hit that off the back foot is very, very difficult to do. He's got shots all round the wicket, as we see here, hitting up and over the offside. But it was shots like this last year that he really took the batting onto a new level. And here, fine sweeping Ashish Nehra. Why is he playing that shot? It looks kind of awkward, just simply because there's no fielder there. We see the passion of the man and the will to win. And then on to Shikhar Dhawan. We saw him make a breathtaking 100 against Australia on his Test debut. An orthodox player who we know can have success in 2020 cricket. Very, very stylish. And I think he's a player who's ready to rock this year's tournament. So, without further ado, I've picked those 3 players. Watch out for them in IPL 2013.
Thank you, Mark. Now, Akash, Mark's spoken about the international players and Shikhar Dhawan, who's found his international acclaim in the last India-Australia Test series. But what about the Indian domestic players that haven't yet found their claim to fame and that you've noticed and would like to, bring to our attention?
Well, when you're looking for a young Indian talent, I'll say look towards the Rajasthan Royals, because that's one franchise which has always invested a lot in the young, unknown Indian commodities. They've got 2 this year who I'm really looking forward to see. One is Sanju Samson. He's a right-handed batsman, wicket keeps a bit as well. Plays for a side called Kerala in India, and he's a good young prospect to watch. The other guy's name is Sachin Baby. So the name is, again, it's his popularity would obviously comes automatically with the name. Sachin Baby again plays for Kerala, has done well in the shorter formats of the game, one-dayers and T20 cricket. And the other guy is Rishi Dhawan, an all-rounder, plays for Himachal Pradesh in the Ranji Trophy. He's playing for Mumbai Indians this season, and I hope that he gets a few games, because he's someone who can bowl a bit, bowls at about 125, 130-ish, and he's a decent bat. So these 3 guys would be my pick when it comes to domestic Indian cricketers.
Well, there have been lots of new players bought. $12 million have been spent this year itself, and 37 new players have been bought. Let's take a look at the most expensive buys this IPL. Some of them I can't seem to understand. Now, the $1 million baby Maxwell was bought for $1 million. His base price was $200,000. Is it the demand for all-rounders that hikes up their rate immediately? I mean, vis-a-vis a Ricky Ponting, who's in a I mean, there's Ricky Ponting was bought for $400,000.
Which is a travesty, isn't it? That's only T20 cricket can do, where a Ricky Ponting or a Michael Clark, they're worth only 400,000, and a Glenn Maxwell is worth $1 million. But then I think Mumbai Indians went in the auctions with a strategy. They wanted someone to put pressure on Kieron Pollard. So they wanted someone who's a big hitter of the ball, who could bowl a bit, and that's why Glenn Maxwell. And when we talk about spending a lot of money, let me tell you one thing about the IPL. Money doesn't matter. A wave of the hand is $25,000. And when you've got so much money in your kitty to spend, it doesn't matter how much a player is getting, as long as the franchise is getting the player they want.
They want.
Well, clearly, if you spend $1 million on Glenn Maxwell, someone who took 1 wicket for Delhi last year, and you're spending $1 million on him, that's a gamble, isn't it?
Well, you'd say so, yeah, because where's the track record?
Yeah.
Where's the proven ability? We know he can bowl a little bit of off-spin, but I'm not sure how much he'll be used, to be honest. He's not a specialist spin bowler. And I think it's interesting the way the IPL gauges a player's value. And it sort of takes away, you know, the test cricketer that's churned out, you know, over 10,000 test runs, you know, Ricky Ponting. But what they have got in Glenn Maxwell is a very aggressive stroke player who can change a game, perhaps within 10 or 20 balls, a very good fielder, and someone who bowls a bit of off-spin. So it's the complete package, really.
I don't think Maxwell could believe his luck when he got picked for $1 million. But it's a big day for Mahela Jayawardene, who takes over the Delhi captaincy from Virender Sehwag this year. And his first job, of course, will be to win the toss. We'll see how he gets on after this short break. Let's take a look at the team sheet for the defending champions, the Kolkata Knight Riders. They've got it all. They've got their attacking batsmen. They've got some of the best all-rounders with their team. They've got a balanced spin-pace attack. But if you look at that team sheet here, Mark, they seem to lack a finisher, a strong finisher. Do you think Morgan, now that we know he's playing for sure, do you think Morgan can play that role?
Oh, he certainly can. I mean, there's no cooler customer, really, in a high-pressure situation. We've seen him do it in international cricket. I'm so pleased he's getting a game, because last year he didn't get a game all through the tournament. And we know that KKR have retained a lot of their players that won the trophy last year. But for him to start the first game, he will be so happy, and he's trained hard for it. We did a little bit of practice with him a couple of weeks ago, and he's well prepared.
So here's the Delhi Daredevils side. Remember, there's no KP, no Jesse Ryder, no Sehwag, no Morkel yet, although he will come. So Unmukhchat up top. Very interesting to see how the India's next big thing gets on. And then Dave Warner at the top as well. But you've got Pathan back from injury, and Yadav back from injury as well, having to play when maybe they wouldn't have done right at the start of this tournament. It could be a bit of a stretch for Delhi today.
Oh, it looks like a bit of a stretch for Delhi Daredevils. They're obviously marred by injuries. You've got KP and Ryder out of the tournament pretty much. Virender Sehwag is out because of a back problem. And now, and before the tournament started, they traded Ross Taylor to Pune Warriors India. So they actually burned the bridge between the top order and the lower order, and that is what is going to hurt them badly in this season. That's how I see things panning out for them. And when we talk about the bowling order in this match, they've got 3 fast bowlers in Irfan Pathan, Ashish Nair and Umesh Yadav. Unfortunately, all of them are coming back from injuries. You've got an Andre Russell there who would be a backup bowler again, should bowl 4 overs. The guy who I'm looking forward to see operating is Shahbaz Nadeem. I think he was one guy who stood out in the previous IPL, a domestic cricketer, a left-arm spinner from Jharkhand. He leads the Jharkhand side and has done well in the Ranji Trophy this season. So I'm expecting good things from him.
OK, well, let's hear from the man who guided Kolkata to their inaugural IPL win last year. We've been talking to coach Trevor Bayliss.
To defend a title is always difficult. You know, you've got to play well over a period of time, and all of the other teams are out to beat you, you know, to beat the champions that following year. We've got key players all around all down through the team. Obviously, the captain, Gautam Gambhir, Callis, McCullum, Narayan. You know, look, we've got plenty of we've got a lot of good players, and if 1 or 2 miss out, I'm sure we've got good enough players right through the group to be successful. It was a successful season for us last year. And look, just for the players to play well. If we play some good cricket, we'll be difficult to beat. Chennai, obviously, RCB, Mumbai, Delhi. Look, they've all got very, very good teams, and will be difficult to beat. And I'm sure some of the new teams and some of the teams that didn't do as well last year, who have strengthened up in the through the auction, and I'm sure are out to prove a point this year. So every match you play is a threat, and you've got to play well in every game.